Hello and welcome to the Star Wars Stuff Podcast, where we talk about all things Star Wars. My name is James.
My name is David Skywalker.
So who are you now?
I'm still just Joseph.
I was like, I'm Joseph Kenobi, which would be a cool name. Can you imagine if you went to school with somebody named... That's a great joke, isn't it? That's your text tone? Yeah. Oh my gosh. That was a text if y'all didn't know. But anyways, so this week in the wonderful world of Star Wars, there's a lot of cool news dropped this week. And a lot of, I don't know, I found something out from Jedi Fallen Order, which I was really excited about. And I'll tell y'all about that in a second. But let's get into what's the big news that dropped? It's the park, right? Or was there something else bigger than the hotel? Yeah, or something bigger that dropped.
Well, there's a couple stories.
Okay,
what you got that I think are big.
Okay,
you want to talk about the first?
It's been an okay news week as far as like stuff coming out and happening.
Agreed.
Considering we're past the Rise of Skywalker, there's not really anything happening for another 2 weeks.
Yeah. Well, that's the great thing I think about Star Wars is that there's always news every week. It seems like
very true.
The hotel and the parks. All the Bob Iger calls.
Yeah,
and
that's
all
right.
The rumors that are out there. So I always talk about this one source I have. He's been dormant for a while.
Oh.
But I'm not sure why exactly. But I found a source. I found someone close to that source that's talking. And he says he's talking to that source.
Okay, so at least we know he's okay. I mean,
right. So I don't live anywhere close to this source, so like go to his house or anything and hang out with him. Yeah. But I guess the big thing that I kind of took away from all the rumblings is, I think we talked about it 2 podcasts ago, that there was a theory that Disney Lucasfilm was thinking about changing the ObiWan series from a series back to a movie. Mm-hmm. But now apparently there's a third possibility where they might actually do a series and then tie a movie along to it.
Interesting.
Smart as well, because that means in order for you to like fully understand the movie, you have to watch Disney Plus to get.
And that's a lot like what Marvel's doing.
Yeah,
because you have to watch WandaVision to get into Doctor Strange, the film,
and then Falcon and Bucky or whatever it's called, Winter Soldier.
Falcon and Bucky. That'd be a great
Bucky and the Falcon.
But so is that a rumor that's been going around lately, or like what's coming to the rumblings are?
Well, that from my trusted sources, yes.
Okay.
So there's also another big thing that Disney Lucasfilm is waiting for to happen.
What is that?
Which is going to knock the domino pieces down, and it's going to trigger what they finally end up deciding on doing in regards to High Republic.
Okay.
I don't know what this big thing is, but they keep on talking about this big thing. This big thing is going to come out once it's done. And this is my own theory, which, I don't know, I didn't put a whole lot of thought into it, but I'm not even in frame.
There you go.
It feels like, to me, they're just trying to finalize the deal with Taika Waititi to direct this next movie.
Ooh, interesting. So you think a Taika Waititi Star Wars film would be the best thing for, like, the big thing for Lucasfilm?
Well, they want to see if they want to do that. If he probably has his own ideas that we're not privy to yet, or they're gonna either do that optional ObiWan Kenobi movie in 2022.
Okay.
So it feels like they're deciding on what are they going to proceed with.
Well, if I know anything about like a Star Wars movie, I mean, my new Rise of Skywalker kind of changed a lot, but they should be kind of figuring that all out by the summer. Like they should have all that kind of figured out by the summer. So then
finalized scripts and locations and all that kind of stuff.
Because then they have to film, because the movie's gonna come out in 2022, right?
Yes, there's gonna be a film in 2022. They just don't know which one. That's why that announcement never came.
So
because now they're kind of weighing their options. What is the best route to take now?
But that's wild, because that's less than 2 years away at this point.
Yeah,
right.
And the fact that we don't have
so that's why the imminent announcement was made. So we're just kind of waiting, and apparently it said that this Obi-Wan script for the film was one of the best scripts that has ever been written for. But we've heard that before.
We've heard that.
Yeah, we hear that every
Who
time.
wrote the script? Do we not know who wrote it?
There's a name tied to it. I don't think he's very
well known,
famous.
Yeah. Okay,
It was us.
But
it was us. Just so y'all know,
I bet the three of us together could come up with.
We can come up with. I already had a pretty good idea for an opening for the Obi-Wan movie, and I thought it'd be like. Never mind. We'll talk about that in a second. But anyway,
it's hot.
All right, interior spaceship. Nah, what you call it? So the announcement that we have, they're saying there is going to be an announcement. They're announcing that there's going to be an announcement sometime soon. Is that what you're trying to tell me? Or because they would have a
decision's going to be made.
Yeah, they have to do it very soon.
Yes,
but
Project Luminous has already been in development, in the works on the book side, and probably on the film side as well. It's just now. Okay, well, we have Taika.
Yeah, because we should be getting Luminous stuff by what, April? Is that what I've heard rumors of?
Well, no, big announcement this month for Project Luminous, right?
The 24th or 24th.
We talked about that last week.
Yeah. So we should be getting something here in a couple. I got a Star Wars calendar over there, don't worry. But we should be getting something here in a couple of weeks. So that's exciting to think about. So we're saying that even though it's slow right now, it's like Lucasfilm and Disney are getting ready for something huge that's about to happen.
Right.
And I remember when Rise of Skywalker came out, and Bob Iger himself, and we had mentioned this before in one of the podcasts, he had said that they asked him, so what's next? And he, in so many words, said, we're just getting started with what is the possibility of what Star Wars can be in the future. So it feels like Kennedy and crew have been planning something kind of massive for Star Wars.
It seems like they made a plan, but now they're going with the flow. Now with the huge success of The Mandalorian, they're thinking about doing spin-offs.
Yes.
Now, spin-off characters, who could it be? Cara Dune? I don't know, standalone. But maybe Bill Burr's crew, maybe go on adventures with them. I mean, maybe Moff Gideon stuff.
Moff Gideon, I'd watch in a heartbeat.
I would watch that.
The Tale of the Darksaber, how he got it.
Yeah. See, it was as if, Lucasfilm had, Filoni's, animation, the Filoni's, style of Clone Wars and Rebels. And then with Mandalorian, they're just going, man, people will watch a live action. People are dying to see a live action Star Wars show and look at this huge success of The Mandalorian, which was, what do they say, was one of the most streamed shows ever. Was it ever or of the year? They said it destroyed Stranger Things.
At a certain point, it overtook every streaming show in existence.
So it's almost like Lucasfilm and Disney are kind of like, okay, so people want to see this. We can now just say, hey, we got a Cara Dune. Hell, they can even say, hey, we're going to do the Crimson Dawn.
Or the birth of Baby Yoda. I mean, who took care of the baby?
I think we're going to find all that out in season 2 or season 3. They're going to start showing us. I don't know about that either. Even
Filoni, I don't know the backstory, but
Filoni was like, you're not going to get all of your answers. Just letting you know, it's going to be. You just have to wait and see. That face he has. You're like, come on, man, just do something.
Oh, he won't ever.
He'll never talk. He'll never tell anything.
He's the best, worst interviewer of all time.
So that's exciting to think about. I'm thinking either this summer or around Celebration that we're gonna start to get the announcements of, hey, this is kind of where we're gonna be going here pretty soon. They're doing D23 this year as well, right? They do it every year.
It's biannual.
Biannual. Well, then never mind. They're not going to do it this year. So sometime
if it's Celebration year, it's not D23.
So sometime they're going to have to. Well,
there was both.
Or actually, Celebration is now hitting every year. It seems like.
Yes.
It used to be skipping.
It's almost as if Celebration this year they were like, Mandalorian might be a big deal, so let's do a Celebration next year, and I'm pretty sure everyone's going to flock to see that. Because that's what they're going to show us the trailer for the Mandalorian season 2, and the cast is going to be there. It's going to be huge. It's all going to be about the Mandalorian,
especially now that we know some of the characters and appreciate the work that was put into the last season.
Oh yeah,
I think because it was probably the biggest panel of this last year's celebration, the Chicago celebration, in my opinion. That and 9 were the big two.
Oh yeah, those were the big draws.
And I think this one's going to be the next Mandalorian panel is going to to be twice as big.
Oh yeah,
twice as big of a draw.
It's going to be the panel.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Obi-Wan.
Yeah. Who knows?
If Ewan McGregor shows up, that may be the panel.
Everybody would be
Liam Neeson and Hayden Christensen.
That'd be great. So here's
all speculation.
So here's how I would open an ObiWan Kenobi show, which is with the two of. For some odd reason, I have this image of them laying down in a field or something, and then looking up at the stars. They're just having a conversation, and it's right after a battle that we've already seen in Clone Wars, some battle.
Anakin and Obi-Wan.
Yeah, Anakin and Obi-Wan, and they're just chilling there talking, and then Anakin could be like joking about something, and he could say, you know what I told Qui-Gon? He goes, what? I told him I would visit every single one of those stars, and blah, 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 blah. And he was like, I didn't realize that the war was what was going to get me there. And he's like, yeah, true. And they have a conversation about that. It's like a quick little thing. And then it cuts to Obi-Wan waking up, and then he's back. Now he's on Tatooine, and it's years later. You know, like he's just thinking about the good days and when Anakin and Obi-Wan, when they were like good friends, and you know.
What if he snaps too from that dream, and he's imprisoned in like a Tusken Raider camp?
That'd be pretty interesting. And then we're like, what the? How did he get there? And then the show starts.
Or he's like in a jail cell in like Jabba's palace. Or something along those lines.
I have a feeling with Tusken Raiders, all Obi-Wan would have to do is turn that lightsaber on. They'd be like, nope,
we're out of here. Oh, fun fact. Did you read The Force Collector?
I have not read The Force Collector.
So in case y'all don't know, there's that book out there, The Force Collector. And if you want to get on Audible, get it. It's really good. Anyways. Tie-in. We'll talk about that later. Okay, so they actually explain the Tusken Raider tribe that was there when Anakin went there. Like he says, you know, I'm looking for some stuff. The guy's like, the kid's like, I'm looking for information about the Jedi. And then he says, well, okay, I don't know a lot, but I do know that there was this one thing that did happen, which they did talk about. And then he explains how this group of Tusken Raiders were like moving to this one area, but then they didn't have enough resources. So they stayed there. And then they said, we're going to go get more supplies and come back. But then when they came back, there was no one alive.
Oh, no.
Which that was when Anakin, you know.
Yeah.
And so I heard that. I was like, that's the coolest thing. It's depressing, obviously, but it was cool that they're like tying all that stuff in. But anyways, that would be my idea for a Kenobi opening. Anakin and Obi-Wan just talking to each other.
That sounds cool.
It'd be cool.
Did you hear that, Lucasfilm?
Yeah, Lucasfilm, we're right here. Yeah, I posted that on my Facebook. I was like, put me in, coach. And a lot of people were like, send your stuff. And I was like, dude, they probably get like thousands and thousands of like stuff every day that they don't even open, probably. You know what I mean? Like all these amateur writers out there like, hey, I got a really cool idea. They're just like, okay,
get out of here, Joe. You never know unless you try.
Yeah, true. Maybe I'll try. Anyways, okay, so something big's gonna happen. We don't know yet. Hopefully this year we find out.
Yeah, once they make that decision, it's gonna be
huge. It's gonna be huge. It's gonna be the next big thing. So, and then something else interesting happened this week was Disney announced the new, what's it called? Galactic
Cruise.
Cruise, Star Cruiser.
The Halcyon.
Yeah.
So in case you don't know, at Disneyworld, it's not going to be at Disneyland. It's only at Disney World. There is going to be a new hotel.
Super immersive experience.
But they when they first announced it was just a hotel. It was just a hotel you go to, and it was just a hotel that you kind of just experience Star Wars. But now they've designed it to be almost like a cruise itself.
Right.
And you get there, you're in there for 2 days and 2 nights, and it's just nothing but Star Wars. But what they're going to do is you're going to pull into this place. They're going to take you in this pod, and they're going to simulate launching you into space, which is going to be mind blowing. Because, dude, I went to Haunted Mansion. Have you done Haunted Mansion?
Yeah. Haunted Mansion's awesome.
Dude, I'm like,
that's the best ride, I think.
I'm sitting there and I'm like, how are we going down? Are we going up? Or how is this? I could not wrap my head around the beginning of the ride when it like.
Well, and it's crazy too. That ride was like mostly designed in like what, the 50s,
the 50s, and the 60s. Yeah.
Like it's insane that all of that technology still holds up to 2020.
Well, the technology's got to be new, right?
I mean, no, they've updated it,
but a lot of
because it looks like a real ghost, which you would think real.
But a lot of that stuff was
created
in the 50s and 60s.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Dude, so like
Scooby-Doo stuff.
Okay, so like the ghost dancing in like the main hall. I was like, I'm looking at my wife going, How are they doing?
Like those
are actual ghosts. I'm looking around for like the beam of it.
Yeah.
Nothing. There's nothing. You can't see it. So anyways, back to
it's like, if I remember correctly, I know we're going way off topic, but it's like a reflection of a projection of a projection or something like that. Like it's crazy the way they do it. And there's a show on Disney Plus. I don't know.
The Imagineering Story. It's
really, really good if you guys
should watch it.
Yeah, I've seen like the first 2 or 3 episodes.
I had to watch. It was after The Mandalorian. I'd watched the Imagineering Story. But anyways, so saying all that, they're going to simulate us going into space, going onto this Star Cruiser called what's it called again?
The Halcyon.
The Halcyon. You get in there, you go to your rooms, which they're huge rooms. So I'm wondering what it's going to be like for, like, say, like my wife and I were to go. If we still have to spend an outrageous amount of money. But anyways,
I'm sure you will. Actually.
You really have to. And then you from there, then you get to like do. They want you to explore the space. They want you to. They do like training videos for you to learn how to fly the ship, because I'm pretty sure you're gonna go up to the ship and, oh no, we're being attacked.
Yeah.
And then they're gonna do something cool, which I'd heard about before, which is they're gonna put you in a shuttle. They're gonna fly you down to Batuu, and then when the shuttle opens up, you're gonna be there at Galaxy's Edge.
That is the sickest thing.
And so I don't know how they're gonna do it. I don't know, but I can't wait to like hear how they're gonna do that.
Well, I mean, that would make sense because have you been to Universal?
No, I have not.
So they've got the Harry Potter stuff in Universal. Yeah. They've got Diagon Alley, and then they've got what's it, Hogsmeade, the city that's right off of Hogwarts. And they take the train from Diagon Alley to Hogwarts, and it looks like you're in the freaking United Kingdom countryside.
Wow.
So
they're doing something cool.
So
there.
they're gonna have to do something like that, and stuff happens the whole time you're in there. There's like characters running along
That's
the
awesome.
train and things like that. So it would be. I could definitely see Disney doing something similar to that, but like on a much better level. Because the train in Hogwarts is awesome, but Disney, like we said, they had technology in the 50s that in 2020 we're still like, what the hell?
Like, how did y'all even think about doing that? So we're saying all that to say it's a 2-day, 2-night experience. It sounds like it's going to be something amazing, and it sounds like it's going to be something expensive.
Yeah.
Like what's the room? You told us
the
a
room
rumor.
is like $3,300, and that's for a 5-person room. So there's 5 people on the podcast. So that's only... Order $6,600 or $660.
Order $660.
If you'd like to help us go, we have a Patreon down below. Just click on it. That would help out tremendously. But no, that'd be pretty cool to go there, because like the goal would be for all of us to go,
right?
And all
of
us
podcast
while we're there.
Yeah.
We'll vlog the whole time, and then just to fully just hopefully tell everybody like this is amazing.
Disney can send us. They're watching right now, so I mean,
hey, Disney.
Well, it would be cool is if they treat it like they do their Disney cruises. I did one for my honeymoon, a Disney cruise, and it was amazing. Like
I think that's the route they're going
if
with.
They
it.
treat it like it's a cruise. All of the meals are like 5-star meals. They're counted as part of your ticket price.
Were they Star Wars themed?
The one I did was just a Disney thing, but there's a Star Wars themed cruise that I think they have starting. Or have just started?
No, they've been doing it for the past, I think, 2 years already. Because I know somebody went on one. There's some random customer who had a Star Wars shirt on. I was like, hey, where'd you get that shirt? He goes, oh, I got it on the Disney cruise, the Star Wars cruise. I was like, dude, that's so cool. He goes, hey, get this. I'm on register scanning. So I'm like, yeah, well, he goes, get this. Last Jedi was showing while we were out there, and they showed it to us while we were on the cruise. Yeah. I was like, dude, that is amazing. He goes, we got to see it before anyone else did.
When I did the Disney cruise, they had the Nutcracker, which was in theaters at the time, WreckIt Ralph 2 or whatever, Ralph Breaks the Internet. I watched Ant-Man and the Wasp. Like, they had 2 or 3 theaters just set up where you could just go watch a movie that's in theaters.
That's beautiful.
Whenever you wanted to.
That's beautiful. So yeah, so it's cool. Sorry. One day we'll go to that too. Yeah. But for right now, I guess I'll stick to the hopefully the Star Wars cruise. That's gonna be so expensive.
Getting on the Halcyon, yeah.
But yeah, so you can actually start reserving your spots this year sometime.
Yeah, which we're gonna do.
Yeah, totally. That sounds exciting.
I just have $660 I can just plop
just
down,
laying around, you know. But that would be really interesting. I know, right? Even I'm like, Jesus, that's gonna be expensive. But it sounds like it's gonna be an experience. And if you go to our Facebook page, we have the link where they actually show the video of the concept art. And I noticed something, that the concept art, the window shrank from when they first announced how it was going to look. Because when they first announced how this thing was going to look, like in your room, you had a dome over you that was like open. You could look out into space and everything.
Oh, really? I didn't notice that. I always saw that it was like a window that was going to be like an OLED screen or something.
Well, they had the one that I had first seen. It looked like there was like the family's like looking up at the ceiling, and like it's huge. And now they show the room, and it's like there's a nice little window there off to the side. It's like it's like they were like, oh, that's kind of going to be very expensive. So.
Yeah, and the bunk beds are like the little like beds in the Falcon, where like Chewie got like wrapped up by Finn.
And then where Luke was chilling when he had his arm sliced off, and so it looks really, really cool, man. And like we said, it's gonna be very, very expensive, but it should be a lot of fun too. So
worth every penny. More than likely.
Oh yeah, 2 days and then you gotta
2 days in a trip.
God, that's gonna be the fastest 2 days of your life.
I know, right? We're gonna be like, oh my god.
And they're gonna do like lightsaber training too, right?
You can do lightsaber training, which I'm still curious how they're gonna do that. But that sounds cool. Now, what would be really cool is if all the experiences from Galaxy's Edge are kind of there as well. Like maybe you can make your own lightsaber while you're here, unless they're gonna be like, hey, since we're gonna take you to the Batu, you should just get out and make your own lightsaber and then come back in.
Right. Yeah.
Or if they make it easier to make reservations to make your lightsaber because you have the.
That's probably
that would be cool.
Right.
Like,
since you have a specific time to be there. You probably have like
the time to
ship you there straight away, kind of thing.
That's awesome. And part of me is wondering, like, are you gonna walk through this place and then after a while you're gonna be like, okay, that's cool, let's we can go now, you know what I mean? Like,
so like I said, if they treat it like a cruise, you will never experience everything on the thing there's there, because we were on the cruise. We did a 7-day cruise for my honeymoon, and I definitely didn't experience every inch of that boat. Like,
okay, how big? We don't know how big this place is. Like, we've seen like kind of the.
I think they have said it's not a lot of rooms. It's like 50 rooms or something.
I thought it was like 60 some odd. It's like 60 some odd rooms
somewhere around there. Yeah, it's not like a standard hotel.
So it's gonna be really difficult to get in there, and so they're only building one of these things.
Yeah.
So man, like this is gonna be.
Well, you gotta imagine if it does well enough in Florida, eventually they'll be like, we're gonna have to buy the property in California and build one of these, or they could set it up wherever they wanted to. Really,
true.
Like if it's like its own standalone thing, like. I mean, this is just me being wishful, but like Chicago or Austin,
Texas. I mean, that'd be cool, right? They just build one there, and if you want to go check in for 2 days, you go and you do everything except go to Batu, obviously.
You're right.
But that'd be pretty awesome. Disney would just give you a really cool idea for all us Texans to do. I'm just kidding. But
there's many of us.
There's a lot of us. That'd be so cool, though, man. So yeah, we'll keep y'all posted whenever that announcement starts to come out, when you can start to reserve your spot.
You know what's funny? The last house I bought, one of their selling points was the fact that Disney bought property in this area. And I'm like, they did?
Yeah. Oh, wow.
And I never heard anyone else say anything like that ever again. And I don't think they really did. But
well, I'm sure Disney, like the company that me and James work for, they buy property all the time and just flip it. And I have a feeling Disney does a similar
They possibly did that too.
Every
to have something on the West Coast, the East Coast, and then the middle
would be amazing.
Right.
I'm surprised they haven't.
They should put one like in Kansas. Just so you have something to do in Kansas.
That sounds.
If you're from Kansas, I apologize.
The home of the world champion, Kansas City Chiefs.
Oh, and he went to Galaxy's Edge. Like he told everybody.
Patrick Mahomes.
Patrick Mahomes was like, "I want to go to Disney World," and everybody was like, "Oh, that it's like the cliche thing." Yeah. And then they next day he's in Galaxy's Edge. Yeah, tradition. Sorry, he's a tradition to go to Disney World, and then the next day he's in Galaxy's Edge. Like it seemed like he spent all day in Galaxy's Edge.
The coolest picture I saw was him with the Jedi robes and like 2 little kids with the Jedi robes, and he's like, "We're Jedi!" Like he's just like super jazzed to be with these 2 little kids.
It's so there's a picture of him putting on the robe, and he just has this huge smile on his face. He's like, he's like,
this is better than the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I know. It was
probably not, but still.
Not.
Well, yeah, he's younger than all of us.
Yeah, he's a Texan boy too. So hey, there you go. The represent Tatooine team. Anyways, so get this. I'm playing Jedi Fallen Order, and I beat the game. I got all 100% on everything.
You got 100%. Oh, you played through on storyline.
I did play. I played the story mode. Don't judge.
Xbox.
Yeah, Xbox. Okay. So and then I one day I'm like messing with my lightsaber, because you can just like stop and whenever just make
change the blade, change the hilt, all that kind of stuff.
And I noticed that there was the Peace and Justice hilt, bottom and everything. And I started looking at those pieces, and I realized that those are the same pieces at Galaxy's Edge when you make your lightsaber there.
Wow.
Somebody
that's kind of what
somewhere.
I hadn't been to Galaxy's Edge yet, but
I didn't put it together until I was like, I looked at Peace and Justice, I looked at the hilt, and I was like, wait a minute. And I looked at all the other pieces, and whenever I saw Peace and Justice, I clicked on it, and sure enough, I was able to create a lightsaber that looks almost reminiscent to the one that I made.
Rancor Tooth
at Galaxy. Yeah. You can't do that one, unfortunately. But it was, we got some here. We got these nice little cups here from Galaxy's Edge. That was a lot of fun. Anyways, it was so loud in there. But But yeah, I thought that was really cool, really nice detail that Lucasfilm did for the game and for Galaxy's Edge.
That's pretty awesome.
So now Cal Kestis has his lightsaber that looks just like mine that I built from Galaxy's Edge. I was so excited. Wow. So anyways, have you beat the game yet?
Oh yeah. I beat it months ago. I didn't get 100%, but I'm not like a super completionist either.
Well, I don't know. For me, I was just like, what else is on here? And I just flew back from planet to planet and just was like, what? I gotta find all the secrets.
But I also
now.
when I play storyline modes, I get really I like to pretend like I'm in the story. So like the idea of going from Dathomir to Kashyyyk over and over again, I'm like, man, we're gonna use so much freaking fuel for this. Like, I just feel bad. Like,
that's beautiful. And yeah, there's the way they do the going to planet is just really cool, man. There's no loading screen. It's just
you just hang out in the ship for a little bit and you talk to the people on board with you.
It's so cool.
You look at the the atrium that you built with the. Did you do that? You got all the seeds and stuff?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah,
and then you get to see your stowaway chilling there, little cat thing. Okay, let me ask you this question. Is that ship in The Rise of Skywalker?
The Mantis?
Yeah.
I think it is, but I couldn't tell you for sure.
Because
probably is.
Did you see what they confirmed today or the other day? Which ship is in The Rise of Skywalker?
Well, that had been around. That was a rumor for the longest time, but it was like now somebody actually got to see it. Yeah. Because, in case you don't know, if you go to Disneyland or Disney World and you ride Star Tours, they've added the new level in where you're flying, and then when you come out of hyperspace, you got to run into the Falcon, and Lando is going to talk to you in the Falcon, and it's Billy D. Williams doing the talking, and he's like, Star Tours, we need your help, or they need us over here on this planet, and he tells you, and then R2 is gonna shoot you off with him, and then you're gonna come out during the battle of at Exegol. And so it's awesome. It looks really cool. I can't wait to ride that ride there at Disneyland. Yeah, the
still I saw showed it zooming past a Star Destroyer. And so I wonder if that's if they used that footage, used that angle,
they have to have. And so Lucasfilm released their visual effects reel where they do the breakdown of how they do visual effects, which is awesome.
Yeah, I posted it last night on the Facebook group.
If you go to the Facebook page right now, you'll see it. And
how long is the video?
It's 4 minutes long.
Yeah, it's not that long.
And
I was I'm going to save this for later, and I haven't watched it yet. But 4 minutes, I got 4 minutes.
They just show you how just the different levels and everything. And then the one frame they did show, they showed the rendering of the Star Tours shuttle there, and I was like, that's so cool. Man, they spent a lot of time on there, and I forget how many millions of hours did it take to render the ships. I mean, millions of hours. We're not saying literal millions, but computer timing,
not linear hours. Yeah, I mean, we had several hundred. Graphic artists working on it.
They said. They did a shot where you see all the ships there at the end of and the camera zooms in through all of them and turns around, and you realize that they 3D rendered each and every one of those ships.
That's a crazy amount of work.
So for me, that alone should win them the Oscar for best visual effects.
Why didn't they shoot the camera in there like that in the film? That would have been awesome to see the sheer amount of ships.
I don't there's so let's get into something right here. Okay? So when you get to A New Hope, Lucas's big climax was the battle of Yavin, the Death Star battle. When you get to The Empire Strikes Back, they reworked the structure, and they have your big battle at the beginning, which then makes you go through the thing, and then the very end you have an emotional battle, which is Vader versus Obi-Wan. I mean, Vader versus Luke, and then somewhere. And then when you get to Return of the Jedi, he does it again, but then he cuts back and forth enough to where he has 3 different battles going on, and for some odd reason, Richard Marquand and Lucas made that work. You didn't feel...
But somehow they figured out that formula.
Yeah, you didn't feel rushed. And then when you get to the prequels, he tried it, but he didn't quite make it work on The Phantom Menace. Because in your last 90 seconds, or the 90 seconds you have droid ship blowing up, Gungan celebrating, the Queen takes over, and then
there's 4 different fights happening at the same time. They probably pushed the envelope a little too far.
And then Qui-Gon dies, and all that happens in 90 seconds, which in a movie is not that long. I mean, that's so much happening. So you get to 2 and 3, and Lucas again, he was like, oh, okay, I think I know how to do it. I think I know how to do my big battles and make it not seem so oh my gosh, there's so much going on. If Rise of Skywalker had done that, then I think you could have had your moment of looking at all the different ships and looking at every single moment that was happening. If they would have restructured the battle that way, I think it would have worked. Because the only thing anybody cared about at that exact moment was Rey, Palpatine, and Kylo Ren. That's all anyone wanted to see.
Well, not me. I was bracing for like the biggest space battle of all time.
Me too. But then once I saw like the stories were going to converge on there, for me, the what is Rey going through right now was more important than the space battle, which I didn't want that. I wanted to be like, look at the space battle. It's the biggest thing in the whole world. Yeah. Oh my gosh, now we get to cut to this. Yeah. If they would have just tweaked a few things, I think it would have been amazing. But that's just my opinion. I still love the movie.
We talked about this last week.
We did.
But it was like they wanted you to be invested in the space battle, but like you said, the most important storyline stuff is happening between the two Palpatines and the Skywalker. I guess depending on your point.
Yeah, depending on how you look
from
at
a certain point of view.
A certain point of view.
But they kept cutting to it, and all of that stuff just kind of seems secondary, and it's like it should be almost as important as what's happening on the ground, storyline wise to me. But that's fine. I still love the Rise of Skywalker.
I thought it was great. And I mean, how did you, like you said, you were waiting for the big space battle at the end of the Rise of Skywalker, but were you happy?
Quasi waiting for it. I mean, I didn't know exactly if it was going to play out the way the leaks said, and the leaks didn't address anything about a space battle. So I was like, oh, are we not going to get something super dynamic? But I mean, how could you if it's all computer artists doing it and maybe JJ just simply said, and war breaks out,
Yeah, true. Because I would have loved to have seen the moment, like Jason Syndulla on the Ghost coming in.
Yeah, we talked about that. Yeah, it's like if you just show checking in, gold leader, red 5, red 2, gold 2, and show all these characters from all the books, tie in all the that would have been wonderful. That would have been that's been my dream for like decades.
But here's where I'm getting excited. Here's where I'm getting excited. So we still need to know what happens to Ezra, Thrawn, Sabine, and Ahsoka. What? Hold on. So season 1 of whatever Filoni's about to do, what if the climax of that show is them bringing in the ending of the Rise of Skywalker? Like they shoot forward and Jason Syndulla's older, and then they find Jason Syndulla, they're talking to him, and then that's when Lando shows up and all those fans just freak out.
Like that's where it ends or something.
Yeah, like it gets to that moment. What were you gonna say? What was your
Well, the big rumor is that the next animated show is going to address Ezra and Thrawn and their adventures.
God, we need to know that.
That's still like a really kind of super speculative rumor because there's no hard evidence for any of that.
Right.
But we do know that something animated is coming down the pipe.
That just seems like like we say, that seems like a no-brainer. Seems
like a home run.
Slam dunk.
Let's say slam dunk.
Touchdown.
A strike in bowling.
Seems like a strike.
A hole in one.
A bat hitting a trash can.
Ooh, too soon for the Astros fans.
Easy. But yeah, it just seems like a no-brainer for them to do a whole animated series now about what happens next. And you know what? You do that episode, you do that show, and you bring in more of First Order. You bring in Mandalorian stuff because it's around that time too,
right?
And so
our spin-off podcast, by the way.
What's up?
Mandalorian stuff.
Yeah, stay tuned for that one. I'm just kidding. That's a lot of work. But anyways, that just seems like that would be so smart for them to do, is to do a whole season about that. And then to go all the way through and then almost do like an epilogue like they did with Rebels, where they tell you like this is what happened, but instead of doing an epilogue, show it. I want to see it.
You know what I almost would like them to do is so in Rebels we figured out what happened, like the middle end of Ahsoka's story, right?
Yeah.
No one had any idea that was going to happen going into the end of season 1, really. The storyline didn't necessarily line up that way, yada yada yada. What would be cool is if they start a new storyline, brand new characters, and through that, like at the end of the first or second season, you go, "Hey, I'm Ezra Bridger. I'm here to help you," or "Hey,
oh my gosh."
You know what I mean? And that's how they conclude that storyline. Like a very similar thing. Like,
man, but part of me is like, I want to see every detail that happens to Ezra Bridger when he shoots off.
But that's what I'm saying is we don't have every detail of what happened to Ahsoka.
That's very true.
Between the end of season 7 of Clone Wars, which nobody has seen yet, to the beginning of Rebels, there's a book that sort of explains a little bit, and whatever is going to happen in this next season of Clone Wars.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
To explain that. So I would like to see it done that way. If you get me a bunch of characters I'm emotionally invested in, and then you conclude something that I was already crazy emotionally invested in, I'm there for it.
That sounds like a
Star
good
Wars
idea.
has that super luxury of all that connective tissue, all the comics, all the novels, all the films. It's tied together, man.
Just do it. Come on.
Just do it.
And if you need help, we can do it for you. Like it's not that big of a deal for us to do. I mean, just saying. No, I'm just joking. But man, I don't know. Like, it's just I'm dying to hear what they're gonna do next with the animation of it, because I just started season 6 of Clone Wars. I'm gonna finish it.
You're in for a treat, my friend.
So this show, Clone Wars, is becoming like one of my favorite shows. I mean, not because it's Star Wars, but because
Are you watching it in chronological
No,
order?
I'm not. I'm watching it in
season by season.
Season by season.
Okay.
Which, I'm going to tell you this: watching in chronological order. Don't do what I did, because there's moments where like they're at the Senate and a character pops up and I'm like, dude, he's dead.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, this is way before that.
I'm almost done with my chronological order
Nice.
watch through. I think I'm like, so the bombing at the Jedi Temple is the last episode I saw.
God, I don't know how they did it, but they just found this weird formula with this cartoon to make the story not like toward the end, like season 5. It's not even a kids show anymore. It's like you're like, dude,
they're dealing with political issues.
There's nothing funny anymore. I will say this though, watching Hondo during the circus, that whole thing. Like, these two girls come up to him and they're like, come with us, and like they look the same, and he's drunk and he's like, which one of you said this?
Yeah, Hondo's the best.
I could not. And Hondo's the character, which is, like I said, every time I see Hondo, I'm like, how is this dude not dead? Like, there's so many times Hondo should have been like murdered brutally.
Yeah.
But he's so clever that he gets out of everything. But anyways, if you haven't seen Clone Wars, if you're like, watch it. And then just so you know, Disney Plus did put out a like 20 episodes to watch before the new Clone Wars season. So that's exciting to think that they already kind of have an idea of like, hey, watch these before, because this is all going to be
These
really
are going to be the
important.
important ones. Yeah.
So, but yeah, I'm excited. February 21st, just a couple more weeks away,
Yep.
man. And oh my gosh, it's going to be awesome. Okay. Are the episodes going to be 23 minutes long, or are they going to be 37 minutes long?
I have to think they're going to stick with the formula.
Just the 23 minute long? Man, I know, but part of me is...
I mean, they could go, maybe... Because they're a little more... They could go a little more rogue, especially like the way Mandalorian worked out. Maybe make 40-minute episodes or whatever, but...
That would be so cool.
I mean, it's a formula. It works.
Yeah.
And the crazy thing is, like... The episodes are 23 minutes, but I swear to God, some of them feel like they're like an hour long.
Yeah, there's so much going on that you're just like...
man, and they jump around from point to point to point, and you don't... Like, if you're not paying attention, you're going to miss something. But it feels like you watched, like... a super long TV show, or even like a movie occasionally, and you're like, this was 20 minutes of my life, and how did they cram all of that into this amount of time?
And what's beautiful is they do the whole like 5 episodes all run together, so in a way you're watching a whole movie pretty much, because you're just, well, I mean, not a whole movie, but you know what I'm trying to say. But they do these 4 episode storylines, and it's just...
But I mean, when you get done with it, that's like almost 2 hours worth of storyline that goes together, so they just kind of like watching a movie.
And if you want to hear we're going to do reviews, and we're also going to do commentaries of the new season of Clone Wars. We're going to be putting them on our Patreon, which we have a link down below, and follow that. You get some cool stuff. I know, but just in case.
I know.
Anything else today, or was that about it?
No, I got a lot of stories.
Okay.
He's like, we haven't even scratched the surface yet.
Yeah, we just started. The new Star Wars Poe Dameron YA novel's coming out this summer.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So that is probably gonna show us appearances from Zori Bliss and Babu Frick.
Hey. Yeah, what I've read is that it's supposed to kind of bridge the gap between like teenage Poe Dameron and where we meet him in The Force Awakens.
Beautiful.
Kind of how he got into smuggling spice, how he got away from being the son of 2 New Republic heroes.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I can't. So that comes out this summer?
Yes, it comes out August 4th. And I have a little synopsis here. It says, not sure what he wants to do with his life, teenage Poe runs away from home to find adventure and to figure out what kind of man he is meant to be. Yeah, August 4th.
I like it.
It's a YA novel.
So do you think he and Ben Solo may have crossed paths from time to time?
No.
No.
I don't think so. No.
I don't know.
There's really, I don't think, no need really to.
I know, but there's that one line in The Force Awakens I love when he says, I didn't know we had the I didn't
Right,
realize.
right.
But then he would
it's almost like
him.
that was the first time they ever met face to face.
It'd be pretty cool though. Don't worry about it. What else?
But yeah, I would really love to kind of delve into what his backstory is.
Oh yeah.
Then we know his comic book run with him and his parents and the Forest Trees. We talked about that several months ago.
That's in Shattered Empire, I think. Is the name of that comic book.
Yeah. And so I wasn't on last week's podcast, but you guys had me laughing a couple times when we were talking about the Disney After Dark Star Wars night. Yeah. There's actually a lot of stuff that came out as far as like details. It's August 27th. You mentioned that the first night of celebration. And it's going to be a separate ticket. We don't know pricing, and I was thinking maybe if you possibly set up your appointments for like Savi's workshop and the droid building, maybe you could do that now. But I tried that earlier today, and the app was down. It didn't let me. I don't know why.
Well, because they're closing the whole park down at like 6 o'clock, right?
But it says you can make your reservations through the app.
Oh, interesting.
So I don't know if you can make them now, but like I said, the app was down, so I couldn't do it. But the details for the Disneyland After Dark Star Wars night is August 27th, first night of celebration, exclusive after hours access to Disneyland Park. Access beginning at 6 p.m. Special entertainment, including a special Star Wars themed fireworks spectacular, galactic dance parties, character encounters, and more. Enhanced decor, event merchandise and inspired food and beverages, immersive Star Wars themed photo opportunities, and limited digital downloads of Disney Photo Pass photos taken during the party.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Just get
we gotta do it, guys.
Just get the blue milk. I promise. Just get the blue milk.
Because like we talked about before, I'm not sure if we talked about it on the podcast, but the 501st always has a bash.
Right.
And they let non-501st attend. So, could this kind of be kind of the same thing, but not 501st related?
Yeah.
Kind of feels like it is.
If the 501st bash is going to be anywhere near Black Spire Outpost, I'm going to definitely do my best to get a ticket this year.
Very true.
Yeah.
But we'll see, man. We'll see what they plan for that one.
And the other thing that had me laughing was the whole Sideshow Collectibles 1-to-1 scale Baby Yoda that they're selling.
Oh my gosh.
So you guys are saying, there's no way we're not going to get one. So I pre-ordered one.
Oh my gosh.
And if you want to see him, he'll be sitting here on the table while we're recording.
So he's 16 inches tall. He's pretty much the prop from The Mandalorian.
He's a little baby.
And I mean, like individually, like placed in hairs and translucency in the ears. So I think
I couldn't get it just because it would creep me out.
just a little bit.
Yeah, it looks super cute. It looks exactly like the child. And it was so funny because I think I texted you guys. I was like, man, I'm going to run home right now. And as soon as I get home,
I thought you were joking. Like 100%.
Yeah, I was like, I'm going to pre-order the child. And I was like, that doesn't sound
That's a weird sentence.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. Anyways. And what else?
So, coming to Disney Plus in February will be the second season of Star Wars Resistance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we can watch.
So
it should be done. It's done now.
I think the run is
the run is done.
The run is done.
Yeah. So there's like a home video window that's got to surpass, I believe.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And the Mandalorian troop transport that we see in the final episode of The Mandalorian Season 1 is being made into a toy.
Again.
Yes, that's super interesting. I never knew it was made into a toy.
It was
back
in
the day by Kenner
originally,
right?
And then they took that toy idea, and it's in a lot of Rebels actually.
Oh, okay.
And then they did a real version of it for the Mandalorian.
My favorite was the tank in Rogue One. The Imperial tank was a prop they built for the toy line.
Right.
It was never in the movie, and then when Rogue One came along, they made a big version of it. I thought that was freaking awesome.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool how they do that. Have been doing that, where they take the nostalgia from a toy that was never seen in anything Star Wars, and they're like, well, we've got a lot of Star Wars to make now, so we might as well.
The best is Ralph McQuarrie's concept art, how that stuff is being sprinkled into Clone Wars, Rebels
a lot. Movies. They used it a lot in Rebels.
It's so
friggin' Zeb was like the original Chewbacca.
Yep.
Design.
Beautiful. I love it. What else? What you got?
So John Williams turned 88 years old on Saturday.
Yeah. Williams turned 88. Oh my gosh, the legend himself.
Yeah, the goat,
the moment maker.
the secret sauce.
I love the fact that our listeners, nobody has forgotten that. Like everyone, I've seen so many different different posts of different people saying, "Hey, just so you know, this was a good moment." I'm like, oh my god!
I can't believe I said something so
I
stupid.
did something so dumb that people walk
It's
around.
not that dumb.
It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. I'm just gonna say that it's really bad.
But I like to say stuff like that. It doesn't make sense, but it does kind of make sense,
Nobody thought it made sense.
It doesn't make any sense. A moment is not 9 movies worth of score.
Okay. Just so you know, I am reworking a new top 10 list. So get ready. I am going to do one that's going to include all the 9 movies plus Rogue One and Solo and Mandalorian.
We should do that soon.
What?
Like all of us.
Yeah, we should. Okay, we're going to do that. Stay tuned for that. All 3 of us are going to put in our top 10 best favorite moments Star Wars.
And it's going to be so wacky.
The music.
I'm looking forward to David's for sure.
The music is not going to... Well, no, you know what David's going to be like, all right, I got 20 moments for you. Yeah. Like, we said 10, but I got 20, so it's okay.
I got 20, and they're all things that are definitely not going to be on your list.
Yeah, exactly.
I can think of one moment right now when that stunt actor had to put tissue up his nose, so when he fell through the sarlacc, he didn't get sand.
Yep, I love that.
That was great.
I love that so much. But yeah, happy birthday, John Williams. Man, just want to say happy birthday to him. You know, maybe one day.
Maestro. Maybe one day we'll see him again.
I'm telling you, man, seeing him live in Orlando was like, geez, like up there. Anyways, what you got?
Yeah. So Oscar Isaac was spotted on the streets of New York, and there was a lot of autograph seekers there, and I guess they staked him out, and one of the paparazzi asked him, "Hey, are you ever going to return and play Poe Dameron again?" And he said, "Probably not." And that kind of goes back to when John Boyega was interviewed, and he was like, "You're not going to Disney Plus me." And then Oscar Isaac was asked the same question in a junket, and he was like, "Nah, probably not." So that's kind of...
Oh, I told y'all. Have I told you my thoughts on it? Like, for me, the story is over with The Rise of Skywalker. If you do any other series, have it be before, have it be... Yeah. The last chapter for me is The Rise of Skywalker, so I'm okay if I don't see an old Rey or an old...
Or have it be before, or have it be way after.
I don't even know about... Okay, yeah, way after.
Way
after.
To the point where Poe and Finn and Rey, if any of them are alive, they're like 100.
Yeah, I mean, that's the only way. I can't see like another thing like that, so...
They're like 100, and you don't have to cast that exact actor anymore because they're 100.
It just look weird, you know? But yeah, I'm okay with that. I know it's controversial, but I'm okay with them not coming back for anything after that. But hey, they could do voice acting before all that, like, you know, maybe like...
Yeah. And if they wanted to come back, I would never be like, oh no, John Boyega's coming back as Finn. I hate this. Yeah. No, I love him as Finn. I will always want to see him and Rey and Poe and even Ben. Like, but I will always want to see that. But if they don't want to, that's also okay. And
I guess it's okay, guys. It's what we're saying. And I understand. If you don't want to come back,
I understand the desire to not have to be mired down with what the beast Star Wars has become. Really, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you don't want to, because Carrie Fisher was Princess Leia her whole life. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, no matter what she did, she was always Princess Leia. Mm-hmm. Mark Hamill will always be Luke Skywalker. Yeah. Harrison Ford got lucky. He's Han Solo and Indiana Jones, so he got lucky.
Well, and you know, Oscar Isaac was lucky to have a bit of a career before Star Wars, as was Adam Driver.
Oh yeah,
and plus Adam Driver's just a stupid good actor.
Yeah,
like
nominated, 2-time Oscar nominated actor, by the way.
Could potentially be a winner. We don't know.
Could be a winner tonight.
He's gonna win one. It just
eventually he will.
He's not gonna win this year though. But we're not gonna talk about that. But anyways,
but like I do sort of worry about like Daisy Ridley and John Boyega having
just come back
future careers.
We all love Rey and Finn. I mean, just keep on doing it.
Yeah,
just keep on doing it.
We'll see.
See, they're finally gonna release that movie that she did with Spider-Man.
No, I didn't know that.
There's been a movie. Tom Holland.
Yeah, it's been in like.
There's been a movie on the shelf for
Purgatory.
like 5 years now.
Oh my god!
Like right after he got cast as Spider-Man.
And right after she probably got cast as Rey, they were like, "We don't know what's gonna happen," and then they were like, "Oh, these guys are big. Let's
put them in a movie together."
Let's do this.
Yeah, it's not supposed to be very good.
Oh boy!
But it's finally gonna get a release date.
What else we got?
So I was also laughing when y'all were talking about how Luke catches a lightsaber. Mm-hmm. I mean, he didn't necessarily have to catch the lightsaber. I mean, it could have been one of those things where it's Luke haunting Kylo Ren, and the saber gets stopped somehow, and Luke's Force Ghost projection basically taunts him, but it's something actually physically there. I mean, it could have been that. I mean,
okay.
You
but
never know.
The picture they showed, he's over there,
him literally
he's grabbing on.
Right. But I mean, just like the ghost stuff with Haunted Mansion. I mean, he's a ghost. I mean, he can move through animate objects.
Well, they went a different way anyway. So.
Yeah,
I'm glad they did.
But I mean, even still, I mean, Force ghosts. I mean, it's incredible that they're even here on our plane of existence. It's like, well, I mean, we don't know what they can and cannot do.
Yeah, okay,
I mean,
yeah, true. But I don't know. Yeah. I would have been mad if he would have caught.
I wouldn't have been. I would have been,
See, I would have been like, okay.
I would have been like, okay, cool. So Luke looks at Obi-Wan, going, "You didn't figure this out like way back when? Like, I don't understand why you didn't like stop me from doing this."
But I mean, lose a hand apparently.
Yeah.
To me, I mean, there's the real world, there's the physical world which we live in, and then there's like the nether realm of the Force where they're at.
Yeah.
I mean, this is not their realm. They don't.
I know, but what I'm saying is Obi-Wan was already of that realm. He could have stopped Luke from, getting his arm sliced off, or they could have stopped Ben Solo from killing Han Solo. Like, there's things, if you do that, there's way more questions than there are answers as to like.
But isn't there like a super huge question with him coming back as a ghost? It's like, how does that even happen?
Which one?
All of them.
Well, I mean,
that's like supernatural stuff that's happening right there. I mean, you don't question that.
The Force doesn't even exist.
It doesn't even exist.
Right. It's fake it in space.
I know. But what I'm saying is, if he would have done that, would have been awesome. But everyone would have been like wondering, why didn't they ever do that before? I mean, they already.
It's funny though, because like Obi-Wan gets accused so much of just being kind of a jerk. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he lied about Anakin being his father. He lied about. I mean, not Anakin being his father, but he lied about Vader being his dad. He lied about all of these things. It would just be another instance where Obi-Wan was like, I didn't think you needed my help there.
I felt you needed to experience this from a certain point of view.
Yeah. I thought I'd teach you a lesson. And
it's Padawan master stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, true, but I don't know. I just would have bothered.
It would just be another instance of Obi-Wan being like kind of a.
He's like, hey, you said you couldn't help me with the. He's like.
See, what happened was...
you really needed to get your arm cut off on that one. Like, Yoda even told me.
You were being a real jerk.
Yoda gave me the hand signal.
Yoda said,
you're not
multiple times you shouldn't go, and then you went. You needed to learn. That's not on me. That's on you, bud.
If they explained it that way, I'm like, that's the best explanation I've ever heard in my whole life. Then I would totally be okay with why Obi-Wan was like, when I told you I couldn't interfere, that was me not wanting to interfere. I could have stepped at any time, but just so you know, I wasn't gonna.
Yeah, I mean, he had to do it himself.
Anyways, what else we got? Was that
so kind of tied to that? I mean, we're gonna be in this High Republic era.
Yes.
Which the rumor is that there's gonna be a lot of Sith running around. Mm-hmm. Now, the Jedi Council said the Sith had been extinct for millennia. Mm-hmm. So, people not gonna get mad at that, or are they?
I mean, again, this is just a rumor of the High Republic. You know what I mean? Like, we don't know.
Well, I mean, it's probably happening.
Well,
I mean,
but we don't know the exact time frame of the High Republic at this
point.
They
said 400 years before the Phantom Menace.
Well, if they do that, then they completely messed up the timeline.
Or the Jedi just never found out about the Sith. Or it could be Jedi defecting.
Okay.
And them not really knowing the legend of the Sith and knowing that there's like a bizarre world Jedi situation.
Or it could be the whole situation could be, you could make the whole movie about the Sith existing without anyone knowing about it. You could have a Sith movie, is what I'm trying to say. Is it could be solely about the Master and the Apprentice, like trying to stay under the radar of the Jedi, because the Sith had to have showed back up at some point with Plagueis and Sidious, you know.
Yeah. I like that idea, but also like the idea of they had no idea. Like they're like, even was it Kai Adi Munda, whatever.
Ki-Adi-Mundi.
Yeah, he's over here like he's like, well, the Sith have been extinct for a millennia. Like, he's like, why are we even talking about this? Like, this is, if we went that route, that'd be so freaking cool that they were that clouded. They had no idea it was going on the entire time underneath their noses. I could see that, and if they went that route, that's an awesome explanation for that. So I guess we have to wait and see what they do with that.
The dark side clouds everything.
Ooh, yes.
Word.
Do it. Was there anything else, or was that the last thing? He has like a whole thing over here full of
pretty much it. Yeah, I think we pretty much covered everything. And you talked about the Bob Iger call last podcast.
And that was fun. And yeah, so thank you for joining us this week. Next week we'll be back with another awesome topic. And if you're watching us on YouTube, be sure to subscribe. And if you're listening to us on Apple Podcasts, be sure to give us a 5-star rating. That'd be pretty cool. 5 star. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And
write a review too.
Yeah, write a review. Yeah, let us know how we're doing. We love.
We really like reading the reviews.
We're like.
Well, they also help the podcast too.
But also, we really like reading.
We do like to read.
Even the bad ones, we like reading.
Yeah,
not that there's a lot on there, but
there's a few. But we still enjoy it. And what else? Audible. If you'd like to do a free trial for Audible, just type in what was it?
audibletrial.com/stuff podcast
and get the Force Collector. It's you just download it for free. It's an awesome book.
So yeah, it's a 30-day free trial, and you can get that title for free.
Yes, and be sure to use it again. What is it again?
audibletrial.com/stuff podcast.
Yes. And thank you so much for joining us.
And we're also on TikTok.
Oh yes, we have a TikTok. We have a few things. We're gonna get more into that.
Yeah, we're pretty much on every social media platform: Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. I released some videos that we've never before.
Snapchat.
Yeah, Snapchat. That we never before released. When we were sitting at the episode 9 panel, I put that out there. The first video I made, though, it was like a montage of never before seen photos, and I think it got flagged and it never got put up because the Celebration logo is the very last image, and on TikTok you can't have logos of stuff.
Because there was a picture of me holding the
the blaster.
The blaster.
Yeah. So you saw it.
I saw the screenshot when you sent it to us. It's a picture of me holding Han Solo's blaster because Collins.
The real blaster.
It was a real. Yes. It was. Remember we all
like
held
30
it.
pounds.
We were like, good God. So there's a cool picture of me holding it, and I thought that's why I got flagged because I was holding a weapon. But anyways, maybe one day y'all will see it. But yeah, we're on TikTok, Snapchat, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Patreon. Just
want to support us? $1.
Yeah, if you want to just give us $1 a month, that would help us out so much. Patreon link is right there below. The Babu Frick tier. Hey. And $1 a month. That would be really cool. Again, thank you so much for listening and watching, and may the Force be with you
always.
Pew 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 pew.